Alien Breed Impact. This is a game that was basically a remake. Very nicely done remake. And, this was actually a slightly update from a game called Alien Breed Evolution, Episode 1. And that was even an updated version, I think, of the original game. I think. The premise is very, well, sort of typical. You see, we follow an engineer on a spaceship called Leopold. And the Leopold has dropped out of hyperspace and has had a collision with another ship, a ghost ship. Now, we have a character, a synthetic, which is a term for androids used in various games and franchises, or in various franchises. So, we have, that is Mia. She is basically your point of contact. And our character of Conrad, he's not necessarily in favor of synthetics. This is sort of playing nods to the Alien franchise, which was an inspiration for Alien Breed. Now, of course, she saves his life. This does a little. However, Conrad is now tasked with fixing the ship's engines. To add to it, the ghost ship that they ran into is full of alien creatures which are invading the ship. So, you basically have to work your way through the ship to get down to the engine room, but you also must help any survivors, which there are some survivors, mostly medical. It's a good thing the medical survived, let's face it. You're going to have a lot wounded, not only from the collision, but also from the alien invasion. So Conrad is now working his way through the ship, taking care of the alien menace, mostly through shooting with various weapons. Weapons that you can actually basically you can increase certain abilities. I mean, you got a assault rifle, a shotgun, like a pike beam or something. I mean, you also have your regular pistol, which has unlimited ammo. Everything else has limited ammo. Some weapons have special skills, like one can ricochet a few times. You got flamethrower. And depending on what type of alien you're going up against, different ones are better. I mean, you can find at some point eggs and blast them to keep the little ones from coming at you, and they're not like face huggers, thankfully. They're still annoying. You got aliens that can rush up and attack you. Got some that can shoot, one that can heal and do some sort of psychic attack. You got one that's just a freaking tank. You just gotta outrun and eventually trick into something that it can't ram through. And you can find logs and little secrets throughout the game. The logs give you information on each of these creatures, as well as the people on the ship. Now, eventually, when you get down to the engines, you find out we can't fix them. They're too badly damaged. And this means now we have to go over to the ghost ship. Don an EVA suit and make your way over there. And things are not as good looking. They do not look good over there. In fact, the ship is infested. It's not. It isn't non-functional. It's just infested, and you got some people stuck on walls. And so Conrad must now work around it, start 3 reactors up so that he can get to a point where he can start the engines. And to make things worse, that all the defenses that you would have like a sentry point and all that, a sentry gun, well, those ones have now been designed to attack humans. And you will eventually work your way to restarting all the reactors, all the generators, and then getting up to a control room area where we have to fight a really big alien. This is about the only serious staged battle in this game. I think it's called the moss creature, because it can generate like moss or something. But you have to wipe it out in each corner of the room, and then take it out take it out like once or twice in the center of the room before you basically can get to restarting things. You go down to a large pool area, and there's another creature that rises out as you're communicating with Mia, the android. The game ends basically on a cliffhanger, but there are 2 more parts to this series. This remake, or I don't know, continuation, whatever you want to call it. It's very reminiscent of old school beat 'em up shooters. You can switch camera angle around. Upgrading weapons is a nice little touch. And it's a very straightforward game. And you can search things. Of course, usually when you search there's a good point when you search some things, that's when the aliens decide, hey, let's attack you now. And when you have a time limit to get, for something to get done in, oh, hey, we're going to attack you now. So it's like endurance type thing. At least with your, like the heads up motion tracker thing, you can get an idea where they're coming from and be ready to start shooting. You can find ammo on in lockers, on corpses. Yes, there are corpses. You will check them out. You could find secrets. Some are easier than others. You can use environmental stuff to help you. You know, there's these red tanks floating all over the place, so let's just shoot them. Boom. Hey, well, you know, we got them. Open up areas. The story is nicely put, and cutscenes are done in such a way that, like, if it's a functional cutscene, like you're going to see something happen, it'll just zoom in on the area and you see what's happening. If it's to tell story, like between levels and that, you get that. It's done in like a comic format with nice little voice acting. And I'd be upset if it was just ending on a cliffhanger and nothing more came, but there are more games. And yes, this is a quote reboot. I just noticed it on Wikipedia. And this was you know, it was this was you know, the original is very top down, which this does keep that in, but it looks so much better than the original. And you know, it is a very nicely done game. Definitely, and you could definitely like with the whole, you know, see the alien theme in it. Of course, these aliens don't have acid for blood or sucked, you know, it gets stuck to your face like a face hugger, which is a nice little thank you, because I'm sure we all wanted to experience that. It's also very straightforward. You will get, you know, little cues on where you need to go next. And the environment is very dynamic, very dynamic. I like that. The map is helpful as well. Of course, you know, we do have like two more games to play in this storyline, which will probably start premiering after this little one goes through. And, you know, that's all I'm going to say about this one. I know this is not as long as some of my other ones, but there's not much to really go on about. I mean, it's very reminiscent of some old school mechanics in games with some new changes. But there are more to go, and hopefully we do a lot better in continuing this adventure. But I've hoped you've enjoyed my little talk about this one. And until next time, take care and have fun.